What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a Pop Punk Dad podcast. I'm Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris183, and welcome back to our favorite topic of the year. That's right, you are smack dab in the middle of February. But it's not just February, Wingman Steve. This February is actually Chris Picks February. That's right. This is the month where I get to pick what I want to listen to, what we want to talk about. And this week is something very special. This week, I said, if you are a Patreon subscriber, and Steve's going to name off who those people are, but if you're one of those people, you heard me talk about some of the things that I kind of wanted to do, and you also heard me say that I'd love to get your suggestions, you Patreon subscribers, on different albums that might sway me in that direction. So I'll tell you what, I thought about it, and there was one that really stuck out to me as being very, very intriguing. Isn't that right, Steve? You remember this conversation?
I do.
Yeah, so this one was a recommendation from Punkish Dad, friend of the show, obviously a co-host on many occasions. But by now, Punkish Dad knows the type of music that I enjoy. He also knows Wingman Steve very well, but he knows the type of music I like. And he said, hey, Chris183, you're picking songs. I'm going to suggest this band that is a mix of several different types of bands that you will love. So please listen to it, and please include this in your Chris Picks February list of albums. So I went to this band and I went to this album, and I will tell you what, Punkish Dad was spot on. So today we're going to talk about one that maybe a lot of you don't know about. Maybe a lot of you have never heard of, but we're going to talk about No Pressure, Steve. I believe it's self-titled, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct or incorrect?
That is correct. No Pressure, self-titled. And kudos to you. You only had 4 picks, and you took somebody else's suggestion. You could have just went 4 Weezer albums. First week, we did The Killers, so a band that obviously a lot of people know, but we hadn't spoken about before. And now you are taking feedback. So good for you. And I was excited to listen to No Pressure. Quick shout out to our Patreons. We got Jason, Ashley, Nick, Tom, Punkish Dad, Steve C, and Sam. Thank you for subscribing. And we will get into the nitty gritty. Do you remember what the comment was? What he said this would sound like?
I remember he said it would sound like a mix of Blink and something else.
He said hardcore meets Dude Ranch.
Okay. So I don't know about hardcore. Like, I get where he's coming from. It's not quite that. But what it definitely is a mix of Dude Ranch and other stuff. Like, I can't wait to talk to you about this, because there are actually other pop punk bands, other bands that I hear influences of throughout this album.
Yeah.
But whoa, is this nostalgic? Like, and it's funny because this album, 2022. So this was only a couple years ago. And this brings you right back to like 1996 or 7. Like, this is not newer pop punk music. This is not newer versions of the genre. This is classic stuff, Steve.
It is. However, the band is fronted by Parker Cannon from The Story So Far. So I think what they're doing is they're kind of meshing the new wave with the old school, and they're creating an album that sounds like it was more from the early 2000s than it is from 2022. But I think that there are some nuances that could be relatively new school, but the recording, the mixing definitely make it seem like an old school record.
See, I'm not going to split hairs here, but you say early 2000s. This is like late 90s.
Okay.
Like, this is Dude Ranch, right? This is what this sounds like. What year did Dude Ranch come out? Fact check me. Was that 96, 97?
Yeah, maybe 97.
Somewhere in that vicinity. But I think
97.
I think that we're in that range. We're in that like raw pop punk sound. Like, it's not early stuff, but it's latter 90s, just getting into that just boom period that you and I thrived. Obviously you being a couple years younger than me, but still being part of that boom period. So your early 2000s or my late 90s. So think of it that way.
Okay. All right.
Timing.
Sure. So did you know of No Pressure before this at all?
No, I had no idea they existed.
Okay. I think somebody hit. So our buddy Stu, he's gone on he went on a Story So Far rabbit hole back in the day, a couple of years ago, and he might have sent them to me. And I know that Punkstad had brought them up before, either in the Discord or someone's brought them up somewhere. But no, I'd never heard maybe more than a song, so I didn't know exactly what really to expect. So I went in totally fresh and definitely have a perspective on it. And so this record was put out June 1st, 2022 on Triple B Records. Do you know where it was recorded?
California. Bayside, California.
It was recorded at Newtone Studios. Do you know where Newtone Studios is?
Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh. That's true. Yes. But Pittsburgh, California. So you were right on two of your guesses, but wrong. If you put them together, you had it right.
I'll take it.
Pittsburgh, California. Ben Hirschfield produced, engineered, and mixed it. It's 10 songs. It's less than 23 minutes. So if you haven't heard this yet, hit the pause button. Go back and listen. It's not going to take you that much time. This episode will, without a doubt, be longer than the actual album is.
Yeah,
but I guess that usually happens.
But that's interesting that's the case. Have we listened to an album that has gone through like a 22-minute album? I don't remember the last time we've listened to something that fast.
I can't say that that I remember anything that short. And the band is interesting because it's a mesh of dudes from other bands, right? In 2020, Parker Cannon from The Story So Far formed this as kind of like a side project. This is the only album they have. They've got a few other releases, some songs and EPs. But there's a guy, the drummer, Henry Corrigan from a band called Regulate. On guitars, Pat Kennedy from the band Light Years. And I think more recently, the bassist, AJ, he was from a band Drain. I don't know those other bands, but I think it's always cool when a band forms from like dudes that were plucked from other bands. And if you go to Spotify and you look up their like About No Pressure page, it only says one thing. It's two very short sentences. It says, just some friends making music, no pressure. That's it.
Was there any fanfare behind this at all? I mean, obviously it probably wasn't played on the radio or anything like that or in heavy rotation anywhere, but like, do you feel like this one had fanfare behind it when it launched? Again, we didn't know anything about it, but I just didn't know if you knew anything tied to the historical piece of its history.
I really can't speak to history all that much, but I did start just doing some searchies and some videos and YouTubies and whatnot and set lists and stuff like that. And I was I was like, this is a side band. Did they ever tour? I was just curious. Did they tour? Did they come to my city? Could I have seen them? I don't know. And there were pages upon pages of set lists that these guys have not only toured the US, but they've toured internationally. They've been in Australia. They've been in Italy. And then I found on YouTube this like 10-minute thing about how No Pressure is like saving punk music or reviving punk music. And I watched a bit of it. And, you can just like see clips from shows, and they really make a lot of kind of contrasts to like back in the day, those DIY punk and hardcore shows, like when Midtown and Newfound Glory were playing like basements in New Jersey or something like that. And they're obviously playing like regular venues, but I was incredibly surprised at how much they've toured, which means that yes, they do have more fanfare than I had ever thought of.
So they've played shows. Here's my question though. Like, they don't have a lot of music here. Maybe it's just not all on Spotify. Maybe it's beyond. But if I look at their discography, most of it is EPs with one or two songs on it. And then you have the No Pressure LP that has the majority of songs. So is that enough to do a show?
Well, I'm looking at, and we're not going to play a game because you're right. They only have this one LP and then a couple extra songs, but they the guy who I was watching the YouTube video, he did say that they are influenced by Blink and they always play a lot of Blink covers. I just happened to look up. They played a set, the last concert they did, October 17th of last year. They played Welcome to Paradise. They played Scotty Doesn't Know. It was a total of 16 songs, right? So most likely it's all of these songs, plus the other couple they have, plus a couple covers. So I guess they have enough to fill, an hour. I don't know. I didn't see if they were like headlining. It says, let's see, they were on from 9 to 9:45. So I don't know, maybe they were third of four or something.
Yeah, like somewhere in the middle, which is fine. I think an hour show with these guys. First of all, I'd love to see them live. Number one, I think that they would put on a great show. I think that the energy involved with, the way I'm listening to these songs, I mean, the energy would be through the roof. And you mix in some covers, some Scotty Doesn't Know, that would be amazing. So I'm sure they could pull those off with no problem. I think that it's kind of jarring to listen to a song that's less than it's about 1 minute. Jarring in a good way. I'm not saying it's bad. They pack a lot into that short amount of time, and not every song on this album has that. Some of them are 2 minutes long. Some of them are actually longer than that. But for the most part, you get those really quick hits. I think it's refreshing. So
they were just in Japan. I'm looking at this set, and they closed the show with Carousel. And then I'm looking at this one set list. I love setlist.fm. It's so much fun. This one show in Australia, they played Scotty Doesn't Know twice in the same set. So that just says to me, like, again, there really is no pressure. They're just kind of getting up there and fucking doing their thing. And obviously the story so far has their own thing going on. So it's not like he needs this, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's just, the story so far is a little bit more of that new school and that more hardcore and the rasp. And this is just a little bit more of the old school punk. And I think he has fun doing it. Again, and now I'm looking at one, they're in Brazil. They played Carousel and Josie. So like, yeah, there's no pressure. They're probably, they played When You Were Young in 2023 as well. So shit. I mean, these guys, they've got some cool stuff behind them.
Yeah, and they know how to sound like the music that we love. It's funny, though. So it's 2022. Who is this band for? Do you think it's more pointed at us, or is it truly for potentially attracting new fans?
I really never know how to answer that question. I think when a guy from a band, the story so far came out in like 2007, right? So they're just shy of 20 years being a band. So they have their own following, but the people who found them back in the first couple of years are now at that age where they probably have disposable income. So that's probably a little younger than us, but it's probably, I would think it's like middle-aged people that grew up like in punk. Kids, teenagers. I don't know about that. I would think the people who were into this music in 2010, this is probably aimed towards them. And then people like us who are a little bit older than that, I think it fits for us well too.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to hook new school, the younger generation with this type of music. This isn't what that's not everybody, right? You can't be peanut butter spread on everybody, but I think for the most part, this is for us, and I'm okay with that. I like that. I like that. They're doing that, and they're somewhat mixing it with a new school vibe. Although, I'll tell you what, and I said this at the beginning of the show, like, I don't know, man. Like, where is that mixture? Where is that new school? Like, to me, I don't hear anything that's 2025 or 2023 or 22. I hear all nostalgia with a new band. So to me, they are just a reincarnation of a band that could have been back then, and I love it.
Yeah, it could just be, I don't know, maybe just a kind of the vocal stylings, the way he does it. Maybe that's somewhat of the, I don't know what wave we're in, third wave, fourth wave of punk. But yeah, it does sound pretty nostalgic.
Potentially. And then just a comment on the album cover. It's cartoony in nature, and it's a throwback to, again, the late 90s artwork that you see on maybe, like, what do you think, Less Than Jake or something like that?
Oh, definitely looks like Less Than Jake type stuff. It kind of reminds, I don't know why, I get a little SpongeBob vibes from it. Like, it's not underwater or anything like that, but it is that kind of cartoony thing. And there's like a car crashing into a crater or something. And the dude is jumping after, I don't know what that is. It's too small to see it. It's some little
Can you zoom in?
Is it a sneaker?
I don't
Might
think
be
you can zoom in on this.
It might be a sneaker.
Yeah, it
But
looks
yeah,
like a.
very less than Jakey.
Is it like a steak? I can't. I can't tell.
My
What?
best guess is that the face of it is like a sneaker.
Maybe he lost his shoe and he's chasing after it. And I swear, there's more than just Lost and Jake that had this style as album covers back then. So
it's a sneaker with a pistol in its hand.
I see.
I was just able to blow it up.
Yeah, that's stuff that you see a lot. And
Yeah,
it looks
all
like
the time.
here's the other thing. He's driving in a car, but the car has crashed into a ravine because it looks like the bridge had broken, but he's moving away from the city or towards it,
It looks like he's driving away from it.
driving away. So he's leaving. He's not leaving his small town to go to the city. He's actually leaving the city to maybe go to the small town.
Possibly, yeah. There's also a no U-turn thing, which
So
could
no
have
turning
some
back.
sort of no turning back, some sort of significance there.
Yeah. But I like it. I like that. I like the theme of the band. I like the no pressure motto that you gave there. It makes me feel it's like this show, right? We're just a couple of guys that love this kind of music. No pressure. We're just here to talk about things, and that's kind of what we do, right? So I'm with that.
Yeah, I feel like some of these songs though, I thoroughly enjoyed the album, but some of them I don't know that I'm gonna have a whole lot to say because it's like they're we can just get into it. I mean, they're very. Some of them are straightforward. Some of them are very short. So hopefully, I don't repeat myself, and I have something. I definitely have at least something to say for each one. But we'll get into it.
If we repeat ourselves, either of us, please let us know. The best place to do that would be on our Discord server. Just call us out. Let us know that we say the same thing over and over again because I like to hear that. I don't know. Maybe I don't. This is my pick, but I'll tell you what, I think you're going to be a little bit more passionate about things than maybe you initially think because we'll have some conversation. I won't let you not say anything. Well, let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'll engage you for conversation. So that said, let's go ahead and dive right into it, Steve, unless there's something else you'd like to discuss.
Nope. Let's lock it up. Move on.
Yeah. So I can kick this one off because it is Chris Picks February. And right away, you get that mix of Blink. And yes, this does have a little bit of the harder side that Punkish Dad was talking about. Again, not quite hardcore to me, but definitely a little bit harder of a turn to it. It's a nice mixture. I do like it a lot. It's almost, I say in another song, some 41-ish feeling, but.
Oh, I have that comment later too.
Yeah. Maybe not so much in this song, but definitely, again, you hear that. Those harder guitars with that tempo and vocal stylings of a late 90s Blink album. So I'm with that 100%. I love that. Right? I love it. I think it's great. It mixes fine. It's like the mixture we never got back then. So into that 100%. High tempo as you would expect to start things off, and definitely with the style of music, it works perfectly. But that melody, it's sing-songy throughout. Like you can definitely sing along. It's catchy. And you got those aggressive drums throughout the whole track that kind of just keep you flowing, keep you floating along through the entirety front to back of it. It's a short song, but you love every second of it nonetheless. This one is not the shortest. It is definitely a little bit longer, but I thought it was great. So I think it's a great first track. Steve, what did you think about Lock It Up?
You know what I think about every time I hear the phrase lock it up?
What?
Wedding Crashers. You lock it up. No, you lock it up. No, you lock it up. I used to say that, me and my friends, like all the time, because Wedding Crashers is one of those classic comedy
movies. Did you lock it up, by the way?
From my college years. Yeah, I mean, if I needed to, I could lock it up, but not usually.
What that means, but go ahead.
So yeah, this first track, I mean, it's exactly what kind of, so it sounds like Story So Far, but more of classic pop punk. And if I remember correctly, Story So Far has more of that like raspy stuff in it and almost screamy. And this This really doesn't have that. It's got a super old school punk chorus, right? It starts off the first time a little slow and muted, then it picks up, right? I've been dreading this for so long, and then it picks it up. The second time that they do the chorus, it's not slow or muted, and then the third time into the outro, they add these awesome harmonies to kind of finish it off. So I love when I love when they put those harmonies in there. And for a short song, I thought it set. We always say this, right? In the Discord, we always say it set the table for the rest of the record. But yeah, I mean, it does. It gives you an idea of what this band is. It got me interested. And, in our ADD society, a song that's like sub 2 minutes, quick, good, catchy, to the point. I can't have any problem with that.
Just circling back, and we're not going to play the game, but I am looking at the songs that are the most popular on Spotify. And there's only one song that's on that top 5 list, and it's this one, Lock It Up. But here's what I'll do. I'll say, can you guess how many streams this song has?
Oh, I kind of cheated. I was looking at it.
Okay. Well, for all of you out there, I'll give you 1 second to guess. 1. I'll give you 2 seconds. 2. Okay, you have your guess, because it is actually upwards over 5 million streams. That's pretty surprising, isn't it? Like, I guess Parker Cannon is definitely a popular name, but what's a lot of streams for a song that, if you ask 10 people if they know who No Pressure is, I don't know if you're going to get 6 people that know.
Probably not. Even if it's in a circle that's pop punk, probably not.
So to me, and you look at some of these other songs that are on here, and it seems like the majority of them are off of the EP in 2020 that came out. Actually, the majority of them are off the EP. And there's ones that's over 7 million streams, close, and the other one's close.
Makes sense, though. If you think about the world in 2020, everything shut down. Everybody was starved for some new stuff. And then towards the end of the year, if Stories So Far is one of your favorite bands, and then, the lead singer comes out with a new project and puts his stuff out, probably a good time to stream a bunch.
Yeah, but you say that, and I get it, but I just feel like that's what everybody says about 2020. I mean, you still have to know. First of all, for that to be the case, are there 7 million people that were in that specific situation, that were Stories So Far fans that just found this? I don't know. Maybe. That's a lot of people, though.
It's a lot of people, for sure.
I mean, that doesn't mean that
Good
there
for
were
them.
7 million different people that streamed this song. I mean, I can't really say that it was unique streams. I don't think that's what this means. But that's still a lot. And maybe it was mostly... No, it wasn't me, because I didn't know about No Pressure, so I can't even make that joke. But I just wanted to throw that in there because Lock It Up was relevant to the conversation, and it is in the top 5. So it's also interesting to know that that's the only song. And to me, it's not even necessarily the standout song on this album. It's good, but it's not the standout. So, but maybe others would disagree. But moving on. Steve, why don't you talk about what is too far?
Too far. Well, I mean, it's tough to have too much to say about a song that is 1 minute and 10 seconds long. This is to me like a double time skate punk song. They do a handful of these on the album, but about halfway through, about 30 seconds in, there's a tempo change, and it turns into a very Sum 41 song. The end of this song is where I was like, wow, this is Sum 41 like. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. But when you're hearing a new band, there's several times where I'm like, oh, that sounds like this. That sounds like this. So good song here at number 2. Interesting to put a really fast one in there and kind of keep you interested for what's coming.
I think it's still, and I agree with the Sum 41 theme, but I also think there were influences of Blink. And also I heard guitars that could sound like early Offspring too, off of albums like Smash. So, man, this was an amalgamation of several different things that I love. So I was into this one. Yes, though, it was over before it started. I couldn't get into it. I didn't have enough time to get into the song, because by the time I was really getting into it, it was over.
Yeah,
but that's okay. It is what it is. You have to kind of get used to it. Maybe I didn't look at the timing whenever I started listening to it. So I thought it was going to be more than what I got.
All right, we'll keep it rolling, hand in hand.
Yeah. So, whoa.
Whoops,
All right.
can't have that.
Here we go. Yes, we can. That's a little bit of music on the background. Can't hurt anybody. Hand in hand. Yeah. So this one, and I'm glad you did that by mistake, because I want to mention that beginning riff. To me, like that sounds very Finchish in sound. Like I hear Finch in that guitar. Maybe it's only one or two songs, but I love that riff when it comes in. Maybe it's the way they put that effect on the guitar. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it sounds like the way that several of my favorite Finch songs start. So really good, got into this from the beginning. I also thought this song continued with the amazing energy that this album has brought so far in the first three tracks. I think that this is one of the best choruses on the album from a sing-along standpoint. An immediate earworm for sure. And it gives you more of the same tempo. So we talked about the energy. The tempo does not slow down here. This is just more of the same. And so far, I'm okay with more of the same. This one was very short in length too, but not as short, right? It's still in that minute range, but it's closer to 2. So it gives you a little bit more than the last one does, which is just right in my opinion. I'm cool with 2-minute songs. I think they're fine. When you start getting to 1-minute songs, I kind of want more, but this isn't one of those.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like in the beginning of the song where he kind of pronounces every single syllable, that muted guitar intro. I didn't think of Finch, but yeah, very Letters to You.
Yes.
Another super short but fun song. And I think in this one, I caught a little neck deep. I caught a little neck deep kind of cadence and vibe to it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will say is that it ends super abruptly. Like I almost would say like they could have expanded this and made it like they could have made it a longer song. I could have taken more of it. I would have liked more of it.
You wanted 5 minutes instead of 2.
No, but you can go like 3:30, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I thought the timing was part of the charm, but I get you. I wanted more too. I like the track. So,
and I think this is like kind of a tribute to his dad. So like one of those like Life of a Salesman Yellow Card songs. It's always nice to hear. Hopefully, our kids will write songs about us one day.
Maybe, or they'll write songs about Yellow Card.
That would be what I would probably do.
My kids don't know who Yellow Card is. They've never heard of them.
Well, that's not true. They did listen to at least A Whole New World.
I was talking to my daughter about that the other day too. She said that she had a great experience. And you know that, and if, for those of you that listen to that one, if you did, is that out? I think that's out, right, Steve?
By the time this is out, that'll be out.
So she brought in, not to sidetrack too much, but I did not know that she brought in her college roommates to help her think about what she was going to say about each song. So they all listened to it together and gave thoughts.
A listening session.
So it was like a big thing that they put. So we got to give them more albums. We got to give them more albums, but we won't talk about that right now.
Maybe we could bring in like the whole group. We can talk to like a group of college kids.
I would love that.
That'd be interesting. That's great. Put that in the notebook for things to do later.
Will do. This next track though, man, I'll tell you what, like this one hits to me. Like I think they're hitting full swing when they get to this next track, both sides. You want to talk about song length? This is in that sweet spot you talked about, just short of 3 minutes. So we're getting back to like what a real song length potentially could be.
A punk song.
Yeah, which is fine, right? That's when I say, what other music would I be talking about, man? Come on.
Well, like radio songs are usually like 3.5, 4.
But this is more of that. It's more of the same, but it's just what I wanted. And this one, is this the one with the bass guitar that you can hear a little bit more?
There is a bass section, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of what I'm talking about. But it does have a more pronounced guitar riff that I really love. I think you get that bass in there, and then you get that riff that just it just takes over the song, and it's at the beginning, so it sets the tone for this track in such a great way. I think that okay, this might be a little bit of a reach, but just bear with me. This one sounds like later Blink to me. Maybe like Neighborhoods. I don't know. Like that's what hit my head first. I don't know why, but the riffs mirrored that era of Blink, and I'm a big fan of that era of Blink. I love Neighborhoods. I love the albums that are before that. So I'm here for this one. I think this is right in the wheelhouse of a great track that isn't just Blink. I don't want people to think like I only like this band because I keep referencing Blink 182 or they sound like them. Like they do take it in a different direction, but those themes, the way that it sounds like that, but it's a different song, that's what makes it even better. And this one, this has an even better chorus than the last song too. More melodic, more easy to love. They put together a great one here. So that reprise too, like the end, it even takes it up even a further notch. This song has such a great ending. I think this is the best melody so far on this album. I know I just said that about the chorus in the last track, but this one got even better. And that's kind of where I'm at. So, Steve, did you feel as strongly as I did about both sides?
I did. I think this middle part of the album is really, really good. It might be the best little section of the album. But I would have to say the first couple of bars in the song sound exactly, not like Blink, but exactly like an Atari song. So they have this song called Looking Back on Today, and it was on a Warped Tour comp, and it was like an acoustic, beautiful song. And then they redid it on So Long Astoria, and the intro, the first couple bars sounds exactly like that. And that's like one of my favorite Atari songs. And then they do go into this very bass heavy, I would say Blink or MXPX like section. And then you finally get into the chorus, and the high notes in the chorus just make this one stand out like big time. And they do this thing, and again, it's not like a super complicated song, right? The chorus ends up getting repeated like 4 or 5 times, something like that at the end. But what they do is they do a slower version of the chorus, then they add in these building drums, and then they repeat it a couple times into this like explosion for the final minute. And again, those high notes, I can't see you anymore. And he goes up real high. And then at the end, the last, time or two, they add in those background harmonies, which always hook me in. So yeah, very good standout song. I would even say if it was just these 4 songs, this would be the best one, I would say, so far, for sure.
It's the beauty of this type of music, though. It's keeping that simplistic approach with lyrics and the way that you sing them, but switching it up within a song, slow, fast, different chords. Like that's why this music's so good. Like that's why it's hard not to fall in love with this, because they can just take so little and make it so large, so great, so amazing to listen to. And this is one of those songs that does that. So 1000% awesome. Keep it going, Steve. You can kick this one off. This is One Way Trip.
The One Way Trip. So the song is, with no pun intended, really, this is like punk rock 101 to me, the song. Absolutely just classic chugging power chords, another really strong, catchy chorus, add in the harmonies, do the muted, slowed down bridge, and repeat. And for somebody that likes all that shit in my pop punk music, this is I think this, these 2 songs back to back, I think they're probably the more earwormy songs on the whole record. So I liked One Way Trip a whole lot as well.
See, this is the formula. Like that's the problem, is why haven't more bands just done stuff like this?
Because they have pressure. There's too much pressure on them. Here, there's no fucking pressure, dude.
I guess, but why do we have to add all that stupid bullshit to these songs when you can just have this, and this sounds so good. Like, yes, you can sing it differently. You're a different vocalist. You can put your flair on it as a band. But this is what people want. This right here. This is what sounds the best. It sounds the most natural. It sounds just great. And you can do so many different things. If you want to say, well, it's all been done before, I don't want to just retread. Everything's retread. Like, but do you think putting, auto tune on your voice makes it better? Like, no, it doesn't. Like, this is what it is. MGK. This is what does it, right? This is the future. This is what we want. This is what everybody wants. Not a coverage on Denver. By the way, we have to talk about that eventually, but not tonight.
Okay.
Not tonight. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do I? No.
Yeah. So MGK and Jelly Roll have a song where they sample "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
Oh, I had no idea. I have not heard much Jelly Roll, and I haven't listened to MGK since we did the episodes on him.
And I did over him, and just on that topic, there was a song on the radio. It was Bon Jovi and Pitbull singing "It's My Life" together.
Wow, the mashups, they keep people on their toes, huh?
I don't know. Is that on your toes? Are you on your toes when you're hearing that? Because
I just mean I wouldn't expect it.
Oh man, not to get off track, but yeah. So I think you hit on a lot of my topics here with One Way Trip. I don't want to take any of the thunder away from this album by talking about Pitbull and Bon Jovi, and Jelly Roll. But this one's, yeah, you're right. Like, so this changes up the tempo a little bit, right? This one takes us a little bit more. I call it a mid tempo. I mean, obviously, I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a little bit slower than the last song. Not slow by any means, but it's slower than the tempo that we heard so far. And this is great. Like you mentioned it, like that's classic, right? That's that classic tempo that you want to hear in pop punk music when you're not hearing that real fast stuff. So either way, they knock it out of the park there. I love it. This is pop punk perfection, in my opinion, just like yours, right? I think that they just check every box on this particular song. It's nostalgic in nature, the way that it sounds. They couldn't mess this up if they tried. Like, there's so much good here for the ear to listen to. This is pure early 2000s. This one here, I think this belongs more in that early 2000s range than that Dude Ranch late 90s. I hear the difference. I hear the Enema versus the Dude Ranch in this one. And it's a breakup song too. At least that's the way that I interpreted it based on reading the lyrics, which a lot of these songs, by the way, are breakup songs, aren't they? Like, I feel like there's a lot of breakup songs on this album.
Yeah, I think there are.
So somebody's breaking up and they want to talk about it, but we call it energetic sadness, right? It means, you get really into the song, you can bounce along to it, you can have the top down listening to it, but at the end of the day, it's about breaking up and ending a relationship.
Energetic sadness. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the next t-shirt that we come out with. That in titular. Titular should have been a shirt a long time ago, but you know how it goes.
We'll work on it. All
right. Moving along, we have the next one, which is same thing. And it kind of is the same thing. And in some different ways, right? We want to be fair here. This one, Steve, goes back to that really short burst song. So this one's only 1 minute and 18 seconds. So we're back to that over before it started. I still think it's traditional in nature. It's traditional sound. That pop punk sound is here. There was really nothing that I could pull out of this one other than I like how there's that transition at the end. It switches up the drums and gives it a flair that was memorable. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Nothing else really that I pulled out of this one.
Yeah,
how about you?
MXPXy kind of bass intro into like a killer fast double time skate punk track. The chorus, there's like double chorus that's like pop punk, kind of slows for a second and back to that like double time picked up pace. You mentioned the drum hit and the guitar fade out. It's quick, it's done. It's easily digestible. It's over before you even know it. But I thought it was cool that they took those two different punk genres, the like double time fast and the pop punk, and they kind of sandwiched them. So I liked it.
You talk about live shows, like it's songs like this that's really going to get that crowd just on fire. Like people love this stuff, right? I think this is perfect. So nothing wrong with this track at all. I don't want to discount it by not saying a lot, but I just didn't have a lot of extra stuff to say. I think Steve summed it up perfectly. And for this next song, you're going to kick this one off. But how many times through your life have you actually called somebody, "Hey, big man"?
Not often, because that's usually something that somebody would like punch you for saying that. But
I mean, but what if they actually are like big, like 6
I
foot
did call my
five?
one buddy Big Man on Campus. It was like a little joke, and we would abbreviate it BMOC. I did call him that. Yeah,
BMOC?
BMOC, Big Man on Campus.
Oh my god! Did he let you call him that?
Yeah, it was funny. I don't know why it was funny, but it was funny. It might have been a reference from a show or a movie or something like that. I can't recall at the moment.
I'm gonna have to go in a time machine and go back and have a chat with younger Steve about what
BMOC.
funny means, really.
Yeah,
Like let's talk about humor, young
you see
Steve.
a big man, but we see a clown. And that's the call out here. And more fast guitars, more drums. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss you off here, and I'm sorry for this, but there's one line when he says, "I thought that you got it." The way that he pronounces that line, I go, "That sounds like somebody else. I don't know who that sounds like." And I literally rewound that line 5 times until it hit me. I'm sorry. He sounds just like MGK. He's got like MGK's voice just for that line, and doesn't do anything bad. I'm fine with it. But
I didn't hear it.
yeah, listen to it again and you'll hear it. It has a pretty, like, the pre-chorus into the chorus, very good overall. A very Circle Pit like song. There's a tasteful fuck thrown in there, and it's just kind of another, like, again, a lot of these are in the same vein. That's why I thought I might have trouble coming up with things to say about this record, but I think we're doing a good job so far, and we're almost through it. But all in a good way.
But MGK sounds like that, and especially on that "got it," like I got it, like that's not an accent or anything. I don't, because that's he's from Michigan, I believe. No, he's from Cleveland. That's not a Cleveland accent. I think all that is just auto-tune bending his voice.
I don't know, but that one line sounds like MGK. If someone said, "Steve, MGK delivered that line," I would believe it. I don't know why it sounds like that, but it does.
It's funny if you listen to what I have to say about this album, and it doesn't necessarily go in a different direction, but I don't have a lot to say about the lyricist. I think that on this album, it's not about he does a good job. Like he does a good job with what he's singing, but it's not the centerpiece of why I love this album. Like I do, so far.
Do you mean how it sounds or the lyrics themselves?
No, not the lyrics themselves, but the way he delivers them, like the tonality of the vocalist himself. Like he's good. He does a good job, but he's not the centerpiece of this music.
Mm-hmm.
The centerpiece is the music. It's not him. Whereas that's different, with the different bands that we listen to. It's a lot of circumstances. So it's not like the lyricist doesn't carry the music here. It's more vice versa. So I thought about that as I was reviewing my notes to the album. Man, I don't say a lot about Parker on this one, and I don't know why. It just there's nothing much to say because he's kind of even, right? But that's exactly what he's going for. Is just that same pop punk delivery that isn't necessarily that up or down. But anyway, so I digress. I just wanted to throw that in there. That said, big man, this one has a star by it. I think this one has an amazing intro. I could listen to this intro on a loop all day. I love it so much. I mean, just the instrumental part. I think it's fantastic. With the drums and everything, right? That's got the big guitar. The guitar is amazing. Like everything that's part of that just gets me. Just gets me right in the center of my head. Man, it's so good. The tempo, the guitars, everything kind of works together and makes it even better. It slows down just enough to accentuate the chorus, when you get to the chorus. So great choice there on the song structure and the chords. Those chords so they start doing these guitar riffs or chords towards the end that feed into the final section of the song. I think that's a really creative and great transition, and it worked perfectly for me. So there was nothing bad about this one. I thought this one just flowed great and it sounded amazing. All right. That's Big Man. Let's continue on our journey here. Moving right along, Sour. I have a star by this one too. This one might to me have some of the most Blink similarities to my ear. And I'm thinking about what I'm listening to in this song or what I'm hearing. There is that part that starts with "Now you're steady, safe already, wouldn't go back if I could. Now you're steady, safe already." And I think I'm singing a Blink song with that. But nice to know ya, paranoia, that song.
Aliens exist, yeah. I was talking before, but I had muted my mic because I sneezed, and so you didn't hear what I said, but that's okay.
What did you say?
I think I was just doing an intro to the song. Okay, now we move on to Sour.
No, it was silent.
And then I looked and my thing was flashing. I'm like, oh, it's because I sneezed, and then I didn't.
A lot of times the segues are smoother than that one, but when you said nothing, I kept going.
Yeah. I did say something, but I was muted.
No,
so that you had nothing everyone didn't have to hear me sneeze.
That's hilarious. What were you saying?
Now let's talk about Sour. But you were talking about this sounding like aliens exist, so keep going.
It does. Like just that part of it though. Like not the whole song. But that takes me right back there. Somehow I wrote down Dysentery Gary, but that's not right. It's aliens exist. And other than that, like I just think some of the guitar riffs, other stuff about this song take me back to that Blink vibe. But mostly it's that part there. And it's so good. Like, it's so good. They do that great. I love that sound. I love that callback. I love the similarities. I love that it sounds like Blink, somewhat. It's, and even like the outro itself, it's so good. The outro is amazing on this track. It switches it up a little bit. So I think another breakup song, but another song that really kind of just hits the mark for me.
I think it is a breakup song, but I think it's kind of like a love song. Like I wish I didn't fuck things up so that you left. And, I do kind of feel like it's like a sweet love song that's kind of packed in this super fast, like somewhat melodic hardcore song. I feel like this might be one of those where you could kind of put that hardcore distinction on it. I thought it was very interesting. All the time I spent inside you felt like hours. That was an interesting line to throw in the song right there in the chorus. Mm. I like the tempo change at the end and then the like chunky guitar as it kind of gets finished. So I thought this one was pretty good. I saw somebody create, I thought there was a music video for it, but it was like somebody that like a fan or somebody that made like kind of took some footage and put it together. So it's on YouTube if anybody wants to watch kind of like a fake or homemade music video for it. It does feature some real footage.
Do you hear the aliens exist in this? Do you hear that?
I mean, now that you're saying it, I guess I do a little bit. I didn't think I heard it when I was listening though.
Go back and listen to it. I'll listen to as much as I hate to do it, the MGK thing, and you listen to this one.
Okay. All right, we're almost done here. We got Stuck Here next. Honestly, like I actually really like this song, but I didn't have anything to actually say about it. The chorus is like one line. I think there was a line that stood out to me. It was sewing up the deepest cuts that never really heal. He starts, and I'm holding back the way I really feel and sewing up the deepest cuts that never really heal. I like that line. It stood out, but I didn't really have too much to add. What am I missing?
I'm not sure you are, because my notes are blank for this one too. And I was hoping that you would have more to say about it. Maybe there's just not much to say about this song.
Yeah, I dug it. It was fine, but there wasn't anything I could really pick out. I don't know.
It's another breakup song.
Yeah.
Or you have already broken up and you're reflecting on it, similar to the last one. I think that it could be either or. I'm on. So I'm not going to recite the whole song, but make it all right now. I know you're gone. Fake it on sight now. I know I'm wrong. Hard to express when it's not in the song. Hard to accept what was there all along. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously
Sounds like
they
a
broke
poem when
up.
you read it that way. Very
When they
Seuss
broke
like.
up, yeah, very Seuss, very very sing songy, and that's what these songs are. Don't you remember having that conversation about Blink 182 and why that works and how it is like Dr. Seuss in nature? It's real simplistic rhyming
Hmm.
over that music that makes it just a different level. They're doing the same thing here. So that's why this one it fits the template. It fits the template. It doesn't deviate from it. It's fun enough where you can listen to it. But I don't know if there's anything just, specific that arises from the song. You can say, "Wow, I really like that," or "Man, those guitars were good." Like it doesn't really have that. It's just there. So, which is fine. It look second to last song on the album. I'm not going to complain about that. Like
Yeah, usually
it could
that's
be
kind
bad.
of a filler spot.
Yeah. And speaking of spot, the last song is "Save Your Spot," and I think this is a great one to wrap. It's a longer track, definitely not one they didn't want to do another minute long song to wrap things up, which is fine. Um, gives you more of the same again, more of the same tempo, fast tempo. But isn't that what we really want here? Like that's the thing. Like I sort of put, why would they change it up? Like this band isn't here to give you like creative stuff like that is I hate to say that. That's not experimental. I should say like more like experiment. They're not here to experiment with things. They're not here to give you kind of weird stuff. They're here to give you pop punk music. They're here to give you nostalgia. They're here to put their spin on it, but still keep that flair of what they want to sound like. So this is more of that at the end at the end, which is fine with me. It wraps things up great. It doesn't have anything offensive. Doesn't have anything stand out either. So that's the only thing. I just like the song. So I know that's kind of a cop out, guys, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I thought it did stand out. I like the vocal cadence in the verses. Tell me that you're outside. Tell me, are you
Yeah.
all right? Like, I definitely like that. Maybe a little sugar culty kind of thing there. Real fun, simple chorus. Obsessive, I can't get over you. I thought this song rocked. And of course, they do this often where there's kind of like rolling drums. Well, maybe not often, but there's rolling drums and muted vocals kind of in the bridge. And what they do is they build up to this final chorus. And then the final chorus, they actually mute the first two lines. So you're kind of waiting for the culmination or the explosion. You think you're going to get it when they get back into that last chorus, but they mute those first two lines and delay the explosion. They delay the culmination of the song, and then it makes it kind of hit and feel real good at the end. So I thought this was a really good song to end the record with. And I'm glad that they ended it with a strong song and not like a weak song like the number 9 song, which wasn't bad, just weaker.
Yep. For sure. Well, speaking of your favorite songs on the album, Steve, it's time for that time. It's time for that time in the show that we like to call ranking it. I should say that more often. I like that. I like the way that flows. But it is called ranking it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where we rank our favorite tracks that we love so much that are on the album that we're talking about today. And today, we're talking about No Pressure by the band No Pressure. Titular in nature would be the perfect way to put it. But Steve, give us your top three, two, one from the album No Pressure.
Since this was so fast, do you want to like maybe try and guess each other's top 3? What do you think about that?
That's unprecedented.
What do you think about it?
Okay,
I'm
fair enough.
not in order, but I think I'm going to take my guess, and yours is written down like there's no changing it based on what I say, right?
I can't. I mean, there's nothing. I couldn't change it. Yeah. I mean, we guessing is that what we're doing?
I was going to say I think your top 3 in not necessarily in order are Lock It Up, Both Sides, and Big Man.
Okay. And I think your top three are Both Sides, One Way Trip, and It's either hand in hand or same thing. I'll go hand in hand.
Okay, well, you got 2 out of 3. My number 3 song is going to be One Way Trip. Number 2, I went with that final song, Save Your Spot. I think I like that one, maybe a little more than you did. And we both talked about Both Sides being an awesome track, so I picked that for yours, but that was my number 1.
Yeah, you were close. You were close for me too, but actually gonna go. I'm gonna go sour with my number 3. I'm gonna go Big Man number 2, and Both Sides number 1 by far.
All right, so we both think Both Sides are the best song on the album.
It's the best. It's the best song on the album. It just really is. It's the total package. But man, what a great album! I'll tell you what. So, I'm hesitant to. I was hesitant to use this spot with something that I was unfamiliar with because, like Steve said, this is an opportunity for me to kind of delve back into the archives of albums that I don't think that we would really ever talk about on this show, but that I really have been wanting to talk about because you get free reign during February to do that if you're me. But because, I kind of threw that out there on the Patreon and I wanted to commit to it based on, what I said, I'm really glad that I did. I like side projects and I like bands that do this. I like newer bands, even though again, this is made up of individuals that aren't necessarily newer to the music scene. This isn't a new band per se in terms of its members, but it only formed, not too long ago. And the fact that these guys all came together from different bands with no pressure, obviously, to write and play the music that they're playing, I think it's something special. And I'm glad that I was able to take the time to listen to it. So I appreciate Punkage Dad and the suggestion here. I think it worked out great. And I'm definitely going to add this band to my rotation because I was that into them. So I think this was a big win in terms of an experiment. Steve, what about you?
Yeah, this panned out. Didn't necessarily know what to expect, and they don't have a ton of other discography, but there is another EP and a couple of songs. So I think I would go and try and listen to the rest of it. And it's a band where if like I saw them and they were on the bill with somebody else, I would be like, I am excited to see this band. I may even go just to see this band. So I'm going to keep my eyes out and see if they tour again at some point soon. I don't believe anything is on the immediate agenda. But yeah, this panned out. You took a suggestion, ran with it, and I think it worked out for both of us.
And I'll be honest. I do know that my first pick, Sam's Town, was, I would say, polarizing in nature. I believe that when you go non-pop punk, the audience, you guys out there listening to the show, you really love pop punk music. That's why you listen to the show. So totally get why maybe some of you weren't as into that one because it's not pop punk. It's something completely different. Synth pop, we'll call it. But I implore everybody out there right now, if you're listening, if you gave this one a shot, because once again, you're seeing No Pressure as the title on this one. If you made it this far into the show, listen to what I have to say. If you're a fan of pop punk music and you really enjoy the stuff that we talk about all the time, which is late 90s, early 2000s style of this genre, which is the boom period, then you have to listen to this album. You have to listen to it because this is right up your alley. This is exactly what you probably like. And I guarantee you will not be wasting your time. This is a band that, more people should know about that love pop punk music. So I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to spread the word, but you guys should too.
Agreed.
I ended abruptly, but that's kind of where I ended my thought. I didn't want to ramble. That's kind of where I ended, Steve. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a PSA about this album. And I look forward to what's next. I'm not going to say what it is right now. It may be pop punk. It might not be, but we'll see, won't we, Steve?
We shall see in approximately 7 days.
Yes, sir. So for all of you out there, again, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Chris Picks February. Like Steve said, we're going to be back again next week in just 7 days to talk about yet another album that I pick. I can't wait to release or reveal to all of you out there which direction I go. but you'll have to just wait and see and tune in next time to find out. With that, if you enjoyed the show, which I hope you did, let us know if you like Chris Picks or any of the other series that we have on High School Never Ends. We would love it if you go to Apple Podcasts and write us a review. Let us know what you thought about the show or the episode you listened to. Also, if you really loved what you hear, give us a 5-star review. It helps the show, and it makes both of us feel oh so good in the dark, wintry months that we're in currently. And finally, if you want some awesome High School Never Ends swag, we do have it. It's available. We have hats. We have mugs, amongst other things that are out there. You can find all of those awesome things on our shop. Our shop is accessible through our hub. That's www.hsnepod.com.
That's right. Follow us on all the things. We have lots of free places to follow us, like Instagram and Discord, hsnepod.com. You can find all those links. And if you want to support the show, join our Patreon. We do extra episodes every month. Shout outs, obviously, to our patrons, and lots of fun stuff. So support your boys. Go to patreon.com/hsnepod. We will be back. We will see what Chris has in store for us next week. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods. Throw up your rock hands and blast pop punk.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.